Welcome back to my channel, Gabbing Ginger. I am 1 week postpartum, so it was requested a lot on my Instagram to do kind of a postpartum update and things that I'm liking, things that I'm needing. And so this is for postpartum for baby number 2. And I think with that being said, follow along on my Instagram. It's Gabbing Ginger. I'll make sure to link it below, and make sure to like and subscribe so you can follow along in my journey of parenthood. And I think that's it. I think we can really get started now. So I am, like I said, sorry, let me pull up my notes on my computer so that I know. I wrote stuff down so I wouldn't forget, because mom brain is real. And if you didn't see my pregnancy updates, I will link those below so you can see how my pregnancy went. But I had, I'll do just kind of like a quick recap, because there will be a birth story vlog/blog. I'm going to kind of do it together. That'll be coming soon. I will hopefully get that taped today and then the additional stuff written up and get it posted. So I'm hoping to actually probably post that before this goes up, but I'm not 100% sure how that will work with a newborn and a toddler. So I had a pretty easy birth and delivery. So my recovery has been pretty smooth sailing. I think that, and I had a vaginal delivery. So I think that everybody is different. Every recovery is different. So just bear that in mind. I do see a lot on here of things that people prepare, and I will tell you about my experience and what I think has worked best for me. So, because everyone's different, and I kind of felt weird because there's some things that people swear by that, I haven't liked or haven't really needed. So I thought I'd put it out there what has worked best for me. So some of the postpartum must-haves are, let's see, if you are breastfeeding, just get some of these. You don't need to bring these to the hospital unless, for some reason you do end up in the hospital a little bit longer. From baby being born to being released, I think we were in the hospital about 26 hours. So I did not need these, but you'll need them when your milk comes in if you are breastfeeding. So something you need. There's different brands, and I think these are they're also kind of preference. There's some that, like, I prefer, these are pretty smooth on the actual pad surface. There are some that have like designs. I don't really know how to, and it's really cushy, and these are relatively thin. So those are the kind that I prefer. I think I also remember really liking the Target brand when I was using them with my first. So those will maybe be what I get next. These were just Amazon, because Amazon is life. So I will make sure to link everything below, or similar things below, if I can't find the exact thing. But this is something you will need if you are nursing. Along those same lines, if you were nursing, you will want this in the hospital. But the hospital usually has nipple cream too, so you can always ask them. I used what was at the hospital. Well, actually, I did use this it took us a little longer to get from our labor and delivery room to the recovery suite. And they keep this stuff in recovery, not in like the actual delivery rooms. And so Annabelle latched on really quickly, and she was latching a lot. So I wanted to be on top of it. So I had packed this because it's small, doesn't take up a lot of room. This was the first time I had ever used this brand. It's called Earth Mama. I had heard a lot about it. As a product, it works really well. It smells funny to me though. I don't know. I used this brand, the Lancino brand Nipple Cream stuff with my first. Really liked it. It doesn't have a smell. I didn't have any issues with it, but a lot of people had recommended this, and it's organic and yada yada yo, parenting. So I tried it, but it does kind of have a funny smell. It works really well, so I have continued to use it. You use it you can't really tell. You can kind of tell how much I've used. Just use. That's my tips on this. And with that being said, like I said, I'll link this below. But it does kind of have, it's not like a putrid smell or anything. It just has a funny smell to me. So just something to know, because sometimes that may make the baby not want to latch. Like if the baby can smell it, but she had no issues with it, and I've gotten used to the smell now. So, and I'm still using it. So there's that. And then something else that I think is super useful, and this is probably very controversial in the breastfeeding world. I have not used this, but it is a nipple shield. I have another one. It came in a pack of 2, and I just use the same one, and then I keep this one in a little carrier, and this goes in our diaper bag. But with cluster feeding and things like that, your nipples get really sore and uncomfortable, and this is a good way to, you're lathering them up with that stuff, and then you can use this. And there's controversies on, does it make it harder for them to latch or want to latch? I just try to use it within regular latching. Now if I have like a crack or something like that, because that did happen in the beginning, and she had a good latch. It wasn't that her latch was bad. It was just she basically wanted to constantly nurse, and that's going to cause some uncomfortableness. So you use that. It'll really help speed up the recovery on that issue. So I like them. I think it's something great to have. Most hospitals will also have these if you need it. So there's that. So we'll just keep on sticking to breastfeeding stuff. So some other stuff you'll want. This is just, I haven't worn this one yet. A nursing bra, super convenient. Tank tops. You will definitely want it. My first go around, I was like, didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't even bring one of these to the hospital. So I was having to go like braless. Definitely want lots of nursing stuff. And if you've had, you may know this, if you've had them before, had kids before, like you probably, some of your tank tops and stuff like that will probably be good to save, but some of the stuff just gets used and abused, and you probably get rid of it in between each kid. Just kind of depending too how many you have. I didn't have a ton of like nursing bras and nursing tanks, so most of mine I needed to get new stuff. They get stains, because lots of stuff you just spit up. So that's that. You'll also want, I have not worn these either, a nice pair of soft panties. I would go to the store and I would buy a size up, make sure it's a soft material, something you feel will be comfortable. Everyone has their preference on underwear, but that's something that you do need. People will talk about these mesh panties. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I love them for the first 24 hours. After that, I don't like them. And they actually caused a rash on me this time. So I stopped wearing them and just went to regular underwear. But they give these to you in the hospital. So you don't need them. You don't need to buy them. People really like to buy diapers. This is like where I probably zoom way to the other side of this opinion. This is, let me show you. This is a pad that they will give you in a hospital, and this is actually more of a medium-sized pad. There are bigger ones, really big ones in the hospital. This is like, I would say, a normal-sized pad, maybe big, kind of. This is the extra long one, so this is really all I needed when I came home. this was overkill. You're going to the bathroom, you should be cleaning, doing all the stuff down there. If you bleed a lot, you might need this. I don't. And so, like, people go out and buy these huge packs of diapers. And I just don't. I think it's okay if that's what you need. But, like, I would also say be prepared and buy some stuff like this just because you'll have it and you'll need it. No matter what, you'll need smaller ones because you taper off. Everyone tapers off. But, like, I wouldn't worry about buying a huge pack of diapers until you kind of know what your recovery's like. I mean, because they gave me enough of these to last me several days, and I didn't even need it past 24 hours. So, stock up on what you need. That's my thing there. A lot of people make padsicles, and in the hospital they'll give you some stuff too, like ice packs. I don't tend to need a lot of that, so I've never needed to make them at home for swallowing or anything. Usually the Tylenol or Motrin or whatever they give you works fine for me. So that's that. But people do really like those, and they do have those at most hospitals now, I believe. So, it's kind of one of those things. Do you make it ahead of time because you want to prepare yourself, or do you just kind of wait and see, and then it just kind of depends. But I'm lucky and I don't really have a tough recovery process. So I need more of the minimal things. So the other thing that I will say I think is super helpful are Artex Pads. These are for hemorrhoids, but you can also you can kind of like line the pad, and it'll help like with cooling and stuff like that. It has witch hazel in it, which is what also goes in those padsicles that people talk about. So this is kind of a good way to get a little bit less, not have to do as much. Do this. And then if you do have hemorrhoids, I would say Preparation H. And then this too, they'll give you this in the hospital, Dermoplast, that helps kind of just numb down there and cool it, which I think feels really good. So those are necessary items, which I feel like some of this stuff is very typical. It's what they give you in the hospital. There's a reason they give it to you in the hospital. Another thing that you'll get, this lovely thing, and a great tip that I heard from a friend on YouTube, Adrienne, and I'll tag her below. She had her second baby a couple weeks ahead of me. So I've been watching all of her videos, and so every time you have a baby, you get one of these. Well, she made the suggestion to put your extra one in your diaper bag, or if you get extras at the hospital, like if you have a 2-story house or multiple bathrooms, put one, in different areas that you use. And I thought that was such a great idea that I never thought about, because with a second, I'm taking a trip to PDO and things like that, and there might be a time that I need to go to the restroom and I will need this. And because you just fill it up with water, and because you don't want to wipe down there, you just kind of want to pat dry. So that was a great tip that I definitely have used. So I keep one in my diaper bag and one in our bathroom, and it works out great. And then another tip that someone told me about. So some people like cold water in this. Some people like hot water. So what I do, I like hot water. So what I'll do is I fill up this with warm water, and then I fill up this with warm water and put the lid on it and put it in the bathroom. And it will keep the water warm throughout the night, so I don't have to like run the faucet and wait for it to get hot and then go, because I don't know if this is TMI, but after you have a baby, once you need to go to the restroom, you need to go to the restroom, and then turning on the water does not help the situation of needing to go to the restroom. So that's what I do, and I'm only getting up a couple times at like maybe once or twice at night to go to the restroom anyways, so this is more than plenty. It keeps it warm, so then you don't, and I put a lid on it, but I just was bringing this up for an example of what I need. So I think that's a definite great mom hack, if you will. Makes life a little bit easier. So might as well do it. Another thing that I think has been super great postpartum is a robe. I have lots of robes. This one's really cute. My friends got it for me at my shower. It has my monogram. Um, but you're just kind of all out over the place. I loved having this in the hospital. I got lots of compliments on it and love having it at home just because there's a lot going on that you have to like take on and take off, and so having a robe is really nice. Something else I like, which I have on, I'm taking them off my feet, a nice little slipper. It's because you are around the house a lot, but like right now it's October, so it's starting to get cooler out. So it is what it is. That's what I think are great products to have. I don't think really anything I talked about was super expensive or super hard to come by. Some of it you will get from the hospital. I guess if you're not having a hospital birth, that might be stuff you want to invest in from the store or from online. I think you could probably buy everything through Amazon because Amazon has everything. But those are the things that I felt were really useful. If you have any questions, please let me know. Comments below. What did you find that you really needed? Are you one of those people who like the padsicles and the mesh panties? I'm curious. And postpartum weight loss is going well. If you watch my pregnancy videos, you know I don't really like to talk a lot about numbers. I know a lot of people do, and that's good with them. I just want to be very cognizant of people, and I know a lot of people have the number means a lot to a lot of people, even though numbers don't really matter in like how fit you are and things like that. So I've lost a lot of the baby weight. I probably still have, I don't know, 10 to 15 pounds that I would like to lose, if not 20. I'd like to, and that's putting a number on it, which, but I believe I gained about 35 pounds. Kind of depended, like it would fluctuate a little less, a little more, depending on the time and depending on what shoes I had on, because you get weighed in like all your stuff. So that's where I am with that. Hopefully I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. There's not much of a belly shot to show, so I'm just wearing all black, so you can't really see anything. I do have a lot of stretch marks. I'm using I didn't grab this. I'm using two different stretch mark things. One is bio oil and one's Palmer's oil. So been using that and they're getting better. I've gotten way more stretch marks this time around than I did with Trip, but they're my battle scars, right? That's what everyone says. So I will make sure to link everything below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of polls and stuff to see what videos you want to see over on here and what you want to see over there. I actually did a recent poll about a postpartum clothing haul. So I have bought some stuff. So I'm going to do a haul, but I am going to do that on Instagram. So make sure to follow me over there so you don't miss out. And I think with that being said, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day. Bye, y'all.